literature. Today we are going to go in the first timeline of history of English literature in Britain, and this one is Old English literature. Okay, first of all, let me try to show you. This is one of the manuscript about Old English literature. The theme is about Beowulf. What do you think? Can you easily read this kind of manuscript? The answer, of course, no, because it's not written in the modern English. What is it talking about? This is talking about an epic poem, yeah? The struggle of a warrior trying to fight against a monsters. Not one monster, but three monsters here. This is an epic hero. So, in order to know about the literary works in the Old English literature, we would like to know first the historical background of the Old English period, to know the context of each of the literary works. First of all, let me try to show you about the historical background of the Old English period. The earliest settlements of the Old English period the Celt, yeah, the first settlement. They are called the Britons, yeah. They do not have any religion because they are pagan, yeah. And then the next, after the settlement of the Celt tribes, Roman comes to invade the earlier settlement. And then after that, Anglo-Saxon and Jute, which is from German and Denmark, they come to replace the settlement of the Roman conquest. Okay, and this is the come of the Christianity replaced the pagan. So with this historical background, we know that some of the development in the literary works has close correlations with the religions and then the social condition. For the first time, let me introduce you that the Vikings, the last tribes that invades the England, they are seafaring explorers, traders, and warriors. They are the Scandinavians during the 8th and 11th centuries. Expeditions that ended in the conquest and settlements of Britain. King Alfred the Great, this is one of the kings in the Anglo-Saxon period, fought the Vikings and then made peace so that English and Vikings settled down to live together. Okay, from the historical background, we know that some of the development, some of the change on the religions also has a contributions on the literary works, because here we can see that some of the literary works produced in the Old English period was written by monks, yeah, and then also King Alfred, who is Christian king, yeah. For example, like this one, the prose, yeah, the ecclesiastical history of English people, yeah, this one, and also this one, Anglo-Saxon Chronicle. Both are the prose which is written by which is written in the era of Anglo-Saxon, yeah, by a monk and also by the king. And then for the poem, yeah, if you look at the poem here, I have written anonymous. It means that we do know who is the writer, yeah, because this is a kind of folk tale which is passed down orally by one to another, and we don't know actually the source of this poem. Until in the 9th century, one of the figure in the Christian, yeah, Beowulf and Caedmon. They publish their work and they write the name of him in their publications so that we recognize that this is the works of Beowulf and Caedmon. But for Beowulf, the Seafarer, the Wanderer, the Battle of Maldon, they are anonymous. Okay, so this is the characteristic of the literary works here. They are oral literature, yeah. Mostly the famous literary works in the Old English literature are oral literature. They are storytelling. One of the example of the popular one is Beowulf. Yeah, Beowulf is an epic poem, and it was probably existed as the story passed down by oral traditions for years before it was written down by a scope. Yeah, scope is another name for a traveling minstrel or a storyteller. Um, so Old English poems are usually epics. Yeah, this is a kind of a long narrative poem on a great subject. Usually, it's talking about the hero, which is fight against evil in the kinds of monsters or others. And then King Alfred the Great, yeah, had books translated from Latin into English so that people could read them. Yeah. He also told monks to begin writing the Anglo-Saxon Chronicle. So here King Alfred has a very big contributions to in the publications of the Old English literature. And then Christianity also has a role in the development of the literature because the Epic of Beowulf itself was probably composed by a monk who writes the story after listening. Okay, now I would like to show you Beowulf. The great epic poems existed in the Old English period. For the authors, we don't know the authors, so this is anonymous. The setting of the Beowulf itself, located in the Scandinavia, or it's called Sweden here, and then in the Denmark or Danes. Yeah, Beowulf is the Gith or Scandinavian warrior, yeah, who has a characteristic of the Anglo-Saxon culture: strong, loyal, brave, and honor. This one, this is the figure of Beowulf. Yeah, look at the body, the muscular body, the appearance here. It seems like a Hercules. Yeah, Beowulf here tried to fight against some monsters, which is terrorize the kingdom of the Danes or Denmark, the neighboring kingdom. Yeah, and then in the first time, Beowulf has a victory fight against to defeat the monster. The monster names here. Here's the monster. The monster name is Grendel. Yeah. However, after got a victory of defeating this monster, the mother of the monster comes to take revenge of the death of her son. And fortunately, second victory comes to Beowulf. Beowulf won in this kind of the fighting. And then, what about the result? The result of this victory, Beowulf become a king in his homeland, yeah, uh, in the Gith, yeah. So after have the victory from the Danes, Beowulf comes to the Gith. Yeah, it means that he is too loyal to his kingdom. Yeah, and then, however, 50 years later, there is again a terror coming from a dragon. Yeah, and this kind of fighting result in the death of this hero. It means that this is this epic has a sad ending, or it's called as tragedy. Yeah, it's called a tragedy. Okay, that's the summary of one of the great epic poems in the Old English literature. And then now I would like to give you or introduce you some of the elements in the Old English literature. Yeah, the elements is kenning, or this is another name of metaphor. Yeah? For example, like I'll give you shadow of death. This is a metaphor for the monster Grendel. Yeah, so that Grendel is also called as the shadow of death. Yeah, this metaphor is another name to call Grendel. And then caesura. Yeah, this is a pose or brick in a line of a poetry. Yeah, for example, like this one. There is a brick in the middle of this line here, so we have to make a brick just a second, and then we continue to end the line. Yeah, and then alliteration is the repetitions of the initial consonant sounds. For example, like this one, the repetitions of the consonant f. Yeah, f, friendless, a foundling, faith, repaid him. Okay, so now let's try to apply it in the poem of Beowulf. Okay, this is the poem of the Beowulf. This is the translations in the modern English, because previously in the first slide, in the earlier slides, I, ha I had introduced you, but you do know that that is the poem of Beowulf, because that's not in the modern English translation. And then now this one is in the modern English translation. Look at this one. Let's try to take a look on the canning first, or the metaphor. Okay, the metaphor can be seen in the last two lines here. Oh, whale path. Yeah, this is another name of the ocean. They called oceans as the whale path. Yeah, that's the metaphor. And then we try to look for the alliteration. The alliterations can be seen in this one, in the line 7, friendless, a foundling, faith, the repetitions of the initial consonant F. And then the last, we can try to look for the caesura, or the pause, this one, the brick in the middle of the lines here, this one. Okay, this is the caesura. Okay, hopefully that the explanations of the Old English literature will help you to understand this kind of the history of English literature. However, in the end of these sections, I would like you to leave a comment to answer one of these questions. The first, do you like heroic or epic poems? Why? The second one, what is the difference between heroic characteristic in the old and modern era? And the last, what have you got after studying about Old English literature? Please answer one of these questions in the comment below. Okay, thank you very much for your attentions. And then wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.